The calling you have to share as a soul and the soul mission that you are here to express is going to radically rewire you at every single level. This is why I think it's incredibly powerful to work on your enlightenment and your self-realization, to have this foundation that directly perceives the truest essence of yourself, capital S, and to directly perceive the divine aspect of yourself, and to begin to know what you are beyond the human construct. Because the essence of your calling is here to completely deprogram and reconstruct that human construct on every single level. And that journey can become challenging, it can be destabilizing in some ways, and it can test you on every single level. And that's the beauty of it, that's the power of it, that's the magic of it, and that's what it's here for. So, the person you are at the beginning of your spiritual journey, where you can sense that you do have something you want to express and share with the world, and the version you become through every condition of your service. Anytime you are here to express a new frequency for your service, you are inspired and invited to take on a subtly different energetic embodiment. Okay, so in the path of becoming available for a powerful service, there is an emptying out of the human construct, the construct of your ego that needs to get things from the world, that needs to be validated, that needs to be enforced. You basically stop living for your ego. You stop living for reinforcing your conditioning and reinforcing the separate self that only exists through the mental projection of your conditioning. So as you're stepping into your calling, your mission, your service, it is a journey further from person consciousness, the person of the ego, into your infinite consciousness and being a conduit for the divine. So as you give yourself more to your service and your calling, this is proportionate to the degree of letting go of the ego and the person consciousness that you have, right? Because you're no longer living for the ego and the personal construct. You're living for being of service to other people, and you're not really living for the other people, right? And the service isn't about the other people. It's actually about you being an embodiment of truth. There's nobody that you save. There's nobody that you transform. There's nobody that you help. All you really do is you become such a fierce, powerful embodiment of the truth of your nature on every single level, that you offer a frequency representation for other beings to calibrate to, and for them to see the truth of themselves in your mirror. You are like a lighthouse, and you are offering a calibration point. You're offering an example of the truth, and you're really just showing what we are here to embody. So that's actually really what you're doing. You're offering a powerful calibration back to truth, because you are now being the embodiment of that truth, and you have let go of the illusory construct of the separate person who has problems, who is an ego. Okay, so time and time again, as you are here to be a conduit for your calling, you are being asked to represent different frequencies at different times, depending on where you're at, depending on what is called for from you. So when you begin, you may represent a different type of frequency that then is the ultimate frequency that you're headed for with your calling. I would go as far to say, that there isn't really an ultimate frequency for your calling. You're just being called to upgrade the frequency and the degree of truth that you're being calibrated to at every single rendition. It gets more potent, it gets more powerful. As your vehicle, as your vessel, as your human being lets go of more of their identity and their ego, so that they can become a more powerful steward of truth. So when you are being asked to embody a certain frequency of service, this actually sometimes looks like you're really passionate and you're really obsessed with something. I see this in myself. My message, my mission changes, and the direction that I'm heading never really changes, because I'm here for the transformation of consciousness on this planet, for global awakening, to restore the template and the harmony of this planet. Like, that's a constant, but the way that it expresses changes based off what is needed, based off where my soul is growing. So why I'm saying all this is just to say that stop looking for fixed points in your calling and in your expression. You're not meant to be a fixed point. You're meant to be an array of ever evolving energetic calibration. And what you're really here to do is let yourself be calibrated to the next frequency and represent that to the fullest, represent that powerfully, bravely, and be really transparent with that frequency. And how this translates on the human level is that you're going to feel like you go through so many deaths and rebirths of your identity, because when you're embodying a specific frequency, that generates a particular sense of self. And when you are being called to rise into something different, you let go of that sense of self, and there's a death to that version of you as a new version of you is born. And each new frequency you're called to embody is a new version of self. And it isn't who you are on every single level, it's just what you're now being called to express, what is most relevant for your soul growth, what is most relevant to magnetize to you the opportunity for you to become the most free, for you to know yourself on every single level. So the path looks like lots of deaths, lots of rebirths, lots of recognizing that the only constant is within, and lots of opportunities to bear yourself more fully through in front of the divine, and to empty out what you are as a human construct. So if I was teaching a module on how to step into your calling and in your mission, and sometimes I have trained people to be the facilitators of transformation, and the first module is always to recognize your person consciousness for what it is, and then transcend it. As if you're here to be of powerful service, you have got to transcend your person consciousness. If you are stepping into an intentional situation where you are being the one who is offering the field for calibration, aka you're offering a transformative experience or service or immersion, whatever it is, you gotta put aside your person consciousness. I am a different Kelly when I am stepping into this role to be the messenger, to offer a calibration point for you. I put aside who Kelly is as a person, as an ego with needs, and I let the truest essence of me stream through in these moments. And I couldn't be Kelly with those egoic needs in this moment, because it would block the frequency that's here to come through. It isn't about who I am as an identity construct in this moment. It's about how I can calibrate, empty out, and allow through this transmission, allow through the frequency of truth. It is who I am as a flag flyer of truth. That is what this is about. So the ability to step out of your person consciousness and give yourself fully to your service, to availability for the frequency that needs to come through, is absolutely everything. I have a very specific practice where I really step out of that personal construct and step into what I am as a messenger, as a conduit, in these moments where I'm crossing the threshold into service. It is an intentional act. And not only is it an intentional act moment to moment as I step into these situations for service, but it is an overall act as I rise into a being that offers her service on a more powerful level, that offers the guidance, the leadership, the paradigm shifts that I offer. So it happens on all levels in my life. The deeper I go into this, the further I go away from being the egoic separate self. So this is the work with embodying your calling, and this is what we're here for. And it is so much rebirth, death, transformation, embodiment of a frequency, calibration, and it is here to heal your sense of separation, where you feel disconnected from the divine, where you have forgotten your wholeness. It's here to heal you as well as supporting the people that you are here to support. It's not just about them, it's about you both in this mutual agreement, this mutual rising, this mutual elevation and activation and acceleration that you offer each other. So this is the path of service. It isn't about reaching a fixed point, a fixed destination. So this really is the energetic of becoming the most powerful conduit for your calling and representing the mission that you have as a soul. And I just wanted to really talk about it on a frequency level today and talk about the energetic journey of it, just so you understand it and you feel a little bit less alone, because it can feel really gnarly and intense and insane, and you wonder if you're going crazy and if are other people experiencing this. Is this what it's like for everybody? If you're really committed, your ego is going to die time and time and time again. Your ego is sacrificed on the altar of your calling. It is let go of. And yeah, it's a trippy psychedelic journey. But guys, we're not here for a comfortable human experience. We're here for becoming the radical embodiments of the divine on every single level. And the more of a contrast from the world of density that we can experience within ourselves, the more we grow. And that is what we're here for on a spiritual level. That is your service. And yes, while you're in this death and rebirth process, it can feel really hard because sometimes you have no idea where you're going. There's no fixed ground, but you know that you're going and you're listening and you're opening up. And so many of us are here to create very distinct ways of being of service in roles that may not have been recognized or experienced or seen in this world so far. But that's why you gotta offer up your human vessel to be reprogrammed from the inside out on every single level, rewired, transformed, and emptied out. You empty yourself out so you can experience the fullness of the divine, the fullness of the truth of yourself. This is a journey from person consciousness to being the embodiment of what you are as an infinite being. So enjoy the ride. This is what it's about, stepping into your calling. Are you ready? I'm sure you're ready. If you're experiencing this with your calling, with your choice to step into your mission, if there's some confusion and if there's some difficulty, just know and trust that you're on the right path and you're doing so well and you got this. If you have been through something like this, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. Bye.